Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet Good Torah. So we're going to talk about the 3 weeks. So what are the 3 weeks? And what do we do in the 3 weeks? And why are we doing it? Okay, so the 3 weeks starts from the 17th of Tammuz, which is a fast day. And then 3 weeks later is Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which is a very severe fast day. And one of the most, I don't know if depressing is the word, but it's one of the saddest days in Jewish history, and we're going to see why these days are sad, and we're going to see the potential of these days for spiritual elevation. Okay, so what do we do? First thing, let's start off, what do we do? And then we'll say what it is. Okay, so what do we do? So from the 17th of Tammuz until Rosh Chodesh Av, which means the 1st of Av, we're all in the period of 3 weeks. So during that period, we don't have weddings because we don't have the simcha, we don't have this happiness, we don't play or listen to music, and we don't have haircuts. So that's the first. It starts on the 17th of Tammuz, and we start the mourning period. And then it gets more severe as we go into Rosh Chodesh Av. And then we don't make improvements to our home or our gardens. We don't launder our clothes. We don't wash our clothes. We do that before the 9 days. We make sure they're a little worn in so they're not perfectly fresh. And then we don't buy or make new clothes. We don't eat meat or drink wine because, as we learn in the Gemara, Ein simcha ela basar v'yayin. There's no happiness if there's not meat and wine involved. And then we don't bathe for pleasure. We don't take a nice hot shower, or a luxury bath, or a spa. So we just wash cold water usually just to get clean. Some people, are a little more machmir. They don't even use soap. All right. So why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? What are we mourning for? Okay. So on the 17th of Tammuz, it was the day that we were supposed to receive the first luchos from Hashem, the first tablets with the Eser Dibros, with the 10 commandments written on them. Hashem engraved them himself into the sapphire stone. It was a rectangle, not the circle on top. Okay. And it was really supposed to be like the 6th of Sivan, the holiday of Shavuos, is when we heard Hashem speak, and we heard the Eser Dibros, and we heard that we were going to get the Torah. But the 17th of Tammuz is really supposed to be the day that we were given the Torah. We were supposed to be given these luchos. Okay, and then 3 weeks later, Tisha B'Av, what happened? Tisha B'Av, there was 12 meraglim, the spies, that went into the land of Israel, and they were sent by Moshe to see Eretz Yisrael, and they were supposed to come back and say, this is an amazing land. This is an Eretz, flowing with milk and honey. It's a land flowing with milk and honey, and it's an amazing gift from Hashem, and this is the greatest land in all the world. And we see throughout all of world history, many empires and nations have fought for control of the land of Israel, and even now it's international dispute. The UN claims Jerusalem. Everyone, the 3 major religions start from Abraham Avinu. Everyone's fighting over Jerusalem. World news is every little, an apartment building's built in Jerusalem or somewhere in Israel. It's an outcry. I mean, who's paying attention to what apartment buildings are built in any other disputed area? So this was supposed to be the day that the Meraglim came back to us on Tisha B'Av and said how beautiful Eretz Yisrael is, and it's supposed to really be the day that we enter Eretz Yisrael for the first time. So what should this really be? It should be these 3 weeks of incredible celebration and happiness of receiving the luchos, the Torah, and then entering the land of Israel, and it should be these 3 weeks of absolute simcha and joy and happiness, a celebration for 3 weeks. Why are we mourning for 3 weeks? What have we lost that we are taking on these minhagim, these customs of mourning? What are we mourning for? So we have a broken connection with Hashem. We've been in this Roman exile, this gullus of Edom, the exile of Rome, and we've been in this gullus for 2,017 years. Now, it's 5777 on the Hebrew calendar, and really at the year 4000, Mashiach could have come. So anywhere from the year 4000 until now, so what are we talking about? We're talking 1777, like 1,777 years. All those years Mashiach could have come. And then 2017 of those years in this Roman exile. And we're still not out, and we're still not done. And so what's the problem? So, we look and Jews that were living in in Arabia, in the Arab countries, they were living like second-class citizens there. And then after 1948, most of those Jews have come out of those countries and back to Eretz Yisrael, living actually in the land of Israel. And then the Jews of America and Europe, South America, Australia, Russia, and the Jews of Paras, the Jews of Persia, Iran right now, I mean, maybe they're in a little bit of a harsh situation. They're living like second-class citizens, and I don't know if they're fully able to practice Judaism, but there's no more Soviet Union. And people may think things are pretty good, like things are really going good, and things are going in a good direction. We have a Baal Teshuvah movement. People are returning to Hashem, returning to the Torah. So what are we mourning for? What don't we have? What's so broken? So I think one thing that's extremely broken, and that's why we have terrorism all over the world. We have people arguing with each other all the time. We have dysfunctional families and such fierce arguments in families where family should be the greatest strength for a person. And why do we have all these things? Why do we have nations? We have wars spreading. I mean, we have war with so many continents, and it's spreading. And the terrorism's everywhere. So why? What is the disconnect? And what we are mourning for is when we don't have that Beis HaMikdash, when we don't have that temple in the middle of the or on the Harabayas, on the Temple Mount, in the middle of Yerushalayim, in the middle of Jerusalem, and all the world can see the house of Hashem's presence in the world, this infinite being reveals himself in that spot, and that's the spot where the spiritual worlds connect to our physical world. The kav from the spiritual world comes down. The pure light of the Ein Sof, of the infinite being, comes into that. All the energy and life force from Hashem comes through that kav right to that Even Shtia, that stone of foundation where the Aron HaKodesh used to sit and where it will sit again, and where the Dome of the Rock, that's the rock is talking about, the Even Shtia, the foundation stone. And it's that point where Shemayim touches the earth. It's where the heavens and the energy from Hashem comes down and touches the earth. And that's where the Shekhinah, wrapped in a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, on top of the Aron HaKodesh, on top of the Ark of the Covenant, with the beautiful two golden keruvim, the two, look like the Malachs, the Karuv, the Karuv Malach, and one looked like a boy and one looked like a girl. And when Hashem was happy with us, these two Malachim, these golden Malachim, would be hugging each other on top of the Aron HaKodesh. And when Hashem was upset with us, they would turn away, and they would, and Hashem is distant from us. And right now, Hashem is very hidden from us. He's very distant from us. We saw in World War II the most hidden Hashem has ever been in the world. And where Amalek, where the evil nation opposed to us, ruled and conquered all Europe, and could have conquered the whole world if not for Hashem's intervention to stop them and containing them. And Hashem only gave them 12 years. Only gave them 12 years to rule and persecute us. And the most horrible event, and that is the danger when Hashem is hidden. And Hashem is very hidden right now. And there's so many people that are so proud of, the atheism. Oh, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in the creation. I don't believe in all these beautiful things I see every day that Hashem created. I don't care and don't appreciate that Hashem's given me life every day. He's given me family. He's given me friends. He's given me parnas. He's given me, the ability to make money and to think and to learn and to acquire wisdom. And all these things we're not appreciating. And this is the world where Hashem's hidden. This is why we are mourning. We are mourning that we do not have this close connection. We are not an Or Lagoyim yet. We are not the light to the nations yet. Because we are not doing our job yet. We are not fully immersed in the Torah and doing the mitzvahs and making ourselves better and making our families better and making our nation better and being that holy people that people read about in the Torah. And I think there's a little bit of they want us to be who we were. They want us to be that nation that merited great miracles when we were taken out of Mitzrayim. We were taken out of Egypt in a miraculous manner. And people want that. They want the superheroes. They want, and in a sense, we have this ability to be this holy nation that has this close connection with Hashem that can teach the rest of the world the beauty of this infinite being that loves everyone, has created everyone, is giving everyone life every day. And that is why we are mourning. We are mourning that we do not have this close connection right now, and that's what we want back. And if we can turn this around, we can turn the 17th of Tammuz back into a day where we get the Torah. And it's a day of celebration, another day of celebration of this luchos, this first luchos, which Hashem could reassemble. I don't know, I don't have any sources for any of that, but it's a day that's meant to be a chag leHashem. Aaron a Kohen, Aaron, Moshe's brother, Moses' brother, said that he was building a mizbeach, he was building an altar to make a chag, to make this day would be a festival of Hashem. And not that it turned into this day of mourning that the Erev Rav convinced us with building this cheta egel, this golden calf, that led us away from our purpose. But when we take back who we are as the Jewish people, and we stand up proudly again of who we are, and we have the close connection that our fathers, that Abraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov had, and the Imachos and the mothers, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, these holy people that established this foundation of the connection to Hashem, that made us a holy nation. And when we get that, and then Tisha B'Av becomes the day, and I think we have in the Masorah, it's a tradition, it's going to have something to do with the third temple, it's going to have something to do with Mashiach. That Tisha B'Av, instead of the saddest day, it could become the happiest day on the calendar. The happiest day when maybe even the third temple is built. And no longer will Tisha B'Av be the day of mourning. It'll be the day that this is when the third temple, the temple that will never be destroyed, was built. And instead of these 3 weeks of mourning, we will look forward to I look forward, I love Pesach, Passover, and when we count the 49 days into Shavuos, it's a great time. And even though Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are so serious and a little scary, and we still have the apple and the honey, and it's sweet and it's good, and the shofar, and Yom Kippur, the fasting, and it's hard and it's scary, but it leads into Sukkos. It leads into that beauty of living outside in the sukkah with Hashem and his festive meals in the sukkah. But the 3 weeks, it's summer. And it's holding us back from the taivas and the desires of summer. The rest of the nations are the pritzos and the avera that's going on in the summer. It's holding us back. But when we are ready, these 3 weeks, we are going to elevate these to the greatest, triumphant, miraculous, happiest days of the year. May we see soon that Hashem sends Mashiach, and that we have a closer relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed is He. Have a great Shabbos. I don't want to say a happy 3 weeks, but learn about it. Dig in. If we mourn for what we've lost, we can regain it. I thank you very much, and I hope to see you back again on Sweet and Good Torah.